Good morning, students. Today we'll see the Taiga natural region. Now, Taiga extends as a continuous belt in the northern hemisphere from 55 to 70-degree north latitudes. The unique feature of this region is that it is seen only in the northern hemisphere and not in the southern hemisphere, because beyond 55 degrees south latitude there is no landmass except Antarctic, which is a cold desert. A cold desert is a region which has very scanty precipitation in the form of rain or snow and very severe winters. So now talking about the distribution of Taiga region, starting with Eurasia first. In Europe, it covers parts of Scandinavia, that is Norway, Sweden and Finland. It further extends into Russia as a continuous belt from the Baltic Sea to the Pacific Ocean. Come to North America. It covers parts of southern Alaska and southern Canada, from the Pacific coast to the Atlantic coast. So that was the distribution of Taiga region. Now talking about the climatic conditions, first talking about the temperature conditions. This region has short and warm summers. Average temperatures is around 20 degrees centigrades. During the day, during summers, the duration of sunlight is about 18 hours, so temperature may go as high as 30 degrees centigrades. While during winters are quite long and severe, and during winters the duration of daylight is about 5 to 6 hours. So the temperature is nearly minus 10 degrees centigrade or even less. So we can say that the mean annual range of temperature is 40 degrees centigrade. Now, see this place. This place is known as Verkhoyansk, which is known as the cold pole, as it has recorded a temperature of minus 68 degrees centigrades, which is quite low. And so, it is the coldest inhabited place on the earth. Besides this, there are a few rivers in the northern part of Russia, like River Ob, Yenisei, River Lena, which remain frozen throughout the winter season because of very low temperatures. Besides this, there are certain very swift, cold polar winds blowing in these regions, along with snow. In Canada, these winds are known as blizzards, while in Eurasia, these winds are known as Buran. Now, the interior parts of these regions experiences continental type of climate, meaning extremes of temperature, as they are far away from the moderating effect of the oceans. While few coastal regions they experience the warming effect of certain warm ocean currents, like the North Atlantic drift has a warming effect on the western coast of Europe, while the North Pacific drift has a warming effect on the coast of Alaska. So that was our temperature conditions. Now, talking about precipitation. This region receives very less precipitation of nearly 50 centimeters. Precipitation is low because evaporation is low because of cold temperature. Rainfall is distributed throughout the year, so there is no marked dry season. During summers, this region receives rainfall by convectional rainfall. We have already discussed what is convectional rainfall. While in winters, there are snowfalls. Also, by the passage of certain cyclones related to westerlies, winter season receives rainfall. Now, talking about the vegetation here. The vegetation here is characterized by coniferous forests. Coniferous word comes from the cone shape of the trees found here. These trees are well adapted to the climatic conditions here, as their structure leads to sliding of the snow very easily and also withstand strong winds. These trees have needle-shaped leaves. For an example, you can see these leaves, needle-shaped leaves, spike-like leaves. They can minimize loss of water through transpiration. So the important trees found here are spruce, balsam, fir, jack pine, hemlock, poplar, cedar, maple, etc. These trees are of great economic importance as they provide softwood. So that was our vegetation. Now come to the human response here. This region is sparsely populated because of harsh climatic conditions. Growing season is short because the summer season is short. So certain crops like vegetables, sugar beets, or barley and oat can be grown. But the main economic activity in this region is lumbering. What is lumbering? It is the harvesting of forest products so that they can be converted into other useful products to their fullest commercial use. So forests they give softwood which can be converted into timber, rayon which is a synthetic fiber, newsprint, sports items, shipbuilding, or other wood pulps which can be used for various other purposes. Especially in Canada, they have greatly benefited from this lumbering activity. Canada, with nearly 60% of its area under coniferous trees, is the leading producer of timber, and it exports nearly 50% of the world's newsprint paper, which is of very good quality. Talking about the season of the lumbering job, it is winter season serves as a good season for this activity as sap from the trees stops flowing, making it easy to cut the trees. Also, the frozen ground serves as a good medium to drag the logs of wood. They carried near the frozen rivers, and when summer or spring arrives, with the melting of snow, they can easily go downhill till the saw melts. And the men who are engaged in such activities, lumbering activities, are known as lumberjacks. But now, this lumbering activity is no longer limited to seasons, as with the availability of good modern machineries, this work is made possible throughout the year. This work is carried out very systematically, like overexploitation is avoided, and a very systematic replanting of trees is done. So that was our human response found in Taiga region. So that was all about this region. We'll meet in the next video.